just like that, we're back in the studios, Real Estate with Ryan on a Saturday, 2021. It's official. It's a new year. We're gone from 2020, but it looks like nothing's changed. It's 2021, and all kinds of things are breaking loose. So glad to be here on a Saturday with you. Talk a little real estate. We won't talk politics. We won't talk anything and everything real estate. That's what we're going to talk about. And so I'm excited to start a new year, excited to be with you guys. Hope you had a great holiday. Enjoyed actually a couple of days with the family and just kind of still working, but taking time with them. I hope you guys enjoyed your Christmas and your New Year. Ready to start off a new year and a good show for you. Speaking of this year, is this year the year to sell my house? That's a big question that we have. A lot of people wonder, okay, is this the year I'm going to put the home on the market? I'm always needing more space. We just had a baby, or the rates are super, super low. But that window is at closing. Do we have that opportunity for much longer? Honey, I think we need to put the home on the market this year. Is this the year? Could be your year. Could be the last year that we see as an opportunity for sellers, such as strong growth. So we'll talk about that and a couple of things else in the real estate market. But again, if you're tuning in for the first time in the radio, I appreciate you tuning in. My name is Ryan Coleman, Hometown Realty, founder, owner. I have some other titles. My lovely wife couldn't be here, but, we kind of do it all. Great team over here at Hometown Realty, and we enjoy selling a little real estate when we're not busy watching our Vols. So glad you tuned in. Men are off to a great season this year. Had one loss, but a great win against Arkansas, so I was excited to see that, excited for the men, and so I think they're going to do outstanding things this year. Just remember, if you're out there in the car, if you follow us on social media land, make sure you check us out. We do these live streams in case you missed the show. Also catch us on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, you name it, we're out there. So let's get into the show. Let's talk a little bit about, is this the year to sell your home? Well, I think before we start about that, it's awful cold winter, and we have a lot of things to be thinking about before we get to the spring. Everybody asks me, Ryan, what is the best time to sell my home? And that's a loaded question. The typical answer is the spring and summer market is always the busiest, right? It's where the most people put their home on the market. And it's always usually what? If you guys have kids, it's when kids get out of school. You want to time that window when they get out of school. If you're going to change school districts, it's the best time to do that. But some people say, okay, Ryan, why not wait until spring before I make a move? Why not, Ryan? Let's just wait till spring. And that's the best question that we just talked with some clients yesterday. And it's a good answer, but my obvious question of doing about 21 years is this. The best time to move is when you and your family are ready to move. The biggest challenge you're going to face in 2021, as you know, it's not a hidden secret, that the inventory is down lower than we've seen ever. And the biggest challenge in this domino effect is the real estate market is usually, if you're entering the market, you usually have a home to sell. And then it's that domino that you're going to purchase. We're seeing in East Tennessee that the amount of buyers that we're working with out of state and local markets that have relocated is not a question why they're coming to East Tennessee, but there's just not enough supply of homes for them. So how do we do that? Well, one of the challenges in the marketplace that there is lower inventory. In any market that you're selling, competition is never a good thing. Perfect deal. If you're in my neighborhood and you're selling your home in Hardin Valley and I put it on the market, I don't want no homes in the neighborhood for competition. I've got the best price, I got the best features, and literally I can set my own market in my backyard. That's ideally what we want to do. Now, we don't always get that opportunity, but that's the perfect world. Well, that's what the beginning part of this year really brings, okay? That's why I tell, some of the luxury properties that we sell, some of our higher end property, there's fewer buyers for those. And I'll go back to one of my great clients. I remember we closed them last year about this time, and we had those conversations, multiple ones, but just one conversation kind of just stood out. And I was telling my seller, and I said, listen, it was coming right around the holidays, always a tough time to put the home on the market and deal with showings. And the easy answer is just go ahead and pull that off the market, Ryan, and we'll follow up in the spring. That's what you hear all the time. And I had to push back a little bit. And I just said, let me do this. My guy was a data guy, a numbers driven guy. And so anything emotional selling, he wasn't going to hear it. So, okay, let me just run some numbers. Let me just share with you the last 3 years, what the market's been doing. I mean, I knew, but sometimes we got to show the people, right? We got to show the people. So we got to show our clients. So we put the numbers together, and that opportunity, we showed that some of our luxury property in excess of $1 million was actually sold from January and February. You say, why is that? It's a good question. A lot of the relocations and things that happen usually have to be here by end of the year. So it makes it an opportunity that if you're coming to a new area, getting relocated, maybe you're one of the coaches that's coming into UT, maybe you're one of the professors or one of your maybe just relocating because family's close by. But already we have a market where there's lower inventory. And the opportunity with that, there's not many homes. Well, in the spring market, you're going to have more competition. So effectively, by getting ahead of the spring market, putting it in the market in January and February, great clients that we're about to put on the market in Hardin Valley, they're touching a couple rooms up. They're getting the paint of these rooms painted, getting it ready to show, and we're going to beat that spring market. Studies showed, and I showed my seller as we have in this kind of conversation, was that not only did it sell quicker, there was less inventory, and when we did a contract to close price, they got more money than they did the spring. It was kind of interesting, and kind of see it on a graph and kind of see it as the charts really made sense. So what I'm telling you is don't overanalyze just the spring market. January and February are two of our biggest months because the overflow of putting off for the holidays, and now with the Knoxville surrounding market, just having lower inventory. Remember that mortgage rates are as low as we've ever seen them. In 2020, mortgage rates hit a 16-year low. Continued rates have set buyers up for significant long-term gains per Realtor.com. Essentially, it's a less expensive way to borrow money for a home loan today than it's ever been in years past. Now, keep in mind, just because the rates are low, effectively, there's a slight increase that can make a difference in your payments over the life of the loan. So what does that mean in layman's terms? What we're seeing now more than ever is that opportunity, that move up home, that the rates are so dramatically low. They're basically at zero, right? That you can pretty much, let's just say, you could go up $100,000 in sales price and get that larger home where 5 years ago, you wouldn't be in that price bracket, if that makes sense. So it's a huge opportunity to get into a different market, maybe different price bracket range. And we know in that range there's a larger supply, your move up market. Let's just say you're 350 or 300 to 600. That's a pretty wide range there, but there's an ebb and flow, a lot of buyers and sellers that move during that area. So we know that not only is there's more buyers and opportunities, there's higher gains on sales during that price range. We talk about equity. These are one of the biggest things we'll talk about now. If you're ever going to sell, you want to take advantage of that now. According to John Burns consulting firm, 58%, 58.7 to be exact, homes in the U.S. have 60% of equity or more. Can you believe that 42% of homes in the U.S. are mortgage-free? That is the best mortgage to have, right? No mortgage, mortgage-free, and equity is growing. We always say home ownership is one of the best investments that you can make that's out there. I'm in the stock market. We have mutual funds. We have 401ks and things. And if you're like me, you watch that screen go up, something happens, you're like, what happened? And then it goes down. And then there's bad news. You turn on the TV and there goes your stocks. And then tomorrow, for some reason, it's good. It's a roller coaster. But one of the things that we have seen over the years, and of course, housing, like any industry, has its issues. But it's one of those things that you can feel, touch, has more of an emotional buy, but is appreciated over the years. And that is why you're seeing a large amount of market. Even our millennials are getting into the market. We talked on a show, I'd say several shows back, that with everything going on, the millennials were coming up in the marketplace and they were really just getting away from owning a home. Too much cost. That generation was not brought up to to purchase a home. They came through the 2008 debacle. They watched the short sales, the foreclosures. And, a lot of those people in that generation just said, hey, owning a home doesn't make sense. I think over the last several years, we've seen a little bit of a shift. We're seeing more millennials than ever get into the marketplace and understand that home ownership is a great opportunity for wealth and to pass on to your family. Coming on a break. Guys, stay with us. We'll talk a little more real estate with Ryan right after this break. You guys stay tuned.
Knoxville and East Tennessee. The region is known for its rolling hills, rivers, and lakes. There's no better place to work, live, or raise a family. Home is where your story begins. Buying or selling your home is a big decision, and you need a real estate team you can trust.
I'm Ryan Coleman with Hometown Realty, your hometown experts. Whether you're buying or selling a home, let us develop a winning game plan for you.
Hometown Realty is East Tennessee's #1 real estate group and a proud sponsor of the Vols.
Your friend promised we wouldn't be homeless.
He promised. He's doing everything to fix it.
You need to call and have him fix it now.
Hey, man.
Found us a house.
No, not yet. Let me call you back. We're working on it.
Ryan Coleman with Hometown Realty.
He says he's doing the best he can do, honey.
Well, he's taking too long. I knew we should have gone with Ryan Coleman.
Choosing the right agent is never easy.
Call your hometown experts. We'll take care of all the details and make sure you don't get stuck in a motel. All right, guys, tuning back to Real Estate with Ryan. Thank you for staying with us. If you were tongue-tied, can I get it together? Saturday, first of the year, a little tongue-tied. You mess up, man. It's okay. It's 2021, man. New Year's. But as I was getting tongue-tied on the other side of the break, we're talking about, is this the year? Is this the year that you want to go into and purchase that forever home? Are you thinking about selling? We're talking about, before we went into the break, about equity was rising. Equity is growing. And we talked about that 42% of the homes were mortgage-free. Mortgage-free. You have to bear with me. I was up last night till 4 a.m. with this debacle, everything going on. I'm sure you won't talk any politics, but I mean, I've got like hours of sleep. And if you probably like me, with everything that's going on in this world, everybody's on pins and needles. And I had to shut it off. I had to shut the social media off. Some of the people are on social media. There's not enough words to describe some of them. So, all that going on, I think one of the biggest things we got off a conference call as we talk equity growing with the marketplace in turmoil, with people of uncertainty, with people are nervous, it makes this 2021 going, what is 21 going to happen? But we know that what a solid foundation has been, it's been real estate has been consistent lately. And over the years, not just, we have ups and downs. Markets go up and they go down, but consistent over 30, 40-year period, real estate has been strong. Since 2017, homeowners have gained at least $17,000 a year savings. Consistent. And that's average. You go some of your larger areas, California, things like that, different price ranges, but you've seen it at home. Nobody goes on Zillow per se to watch values, but it's a gauge. People look at it and you can see your neighborhoods kind of change it a little bit. Home prices are probably appreciating faster and outpricing the market. That's one of the challenges that we're getting into is, according to leading experts, home prices are forecasted to continue appreciating in 2021. Today, many experts are projecting more moderate home price growth than last year. So, what do you do when there's not enough homes to sell? With today's low inventory, price appreciation on the sellers, it puts the sellers in a driver's seat. Competition is very high among the buyers. Homes are selling quickly. That's, I think, the biggest frustration that we run into is the buyer. I had a little conversation on a contract that we're putting on the marketplace, and why it's so challenging is you've got a marketplace that's expanding. The prices are basically going over some of the values, and we're seeing that now. We're running into appraisal issues because the demand will pay X, but the appraisals won't support it, but the appreciation is there. How are we going to handle all that? The rubber meets the road eventually. So we got to have these conversations. And one of the deals we were working, we're saying, okay, watch out sellers in the marketplace, because now we get into bidding wars and we have these properties knowing that the agents or knowing that the buyer's intent maybe is that it's not going to appraise, and we'll go in with the highest bid and escalation clause, right? Only just to come back to watch the appraisal drop and then lower the price, kind of hammer the seller after they packed everything up. Got to watch that. That's a true statement. So one of the biggest things that we're talking with our clients, and just got off a conference call, we always talk about it here at Hometown Realty. It's that heart of a teacher. And in this season, we talk about not only the heart of a teacher, but really understanding where we're at and everything that's going on. We talk about, is this the year to sell your home, coming out of a COVID, dealing with COVID, talking about COVID too and everything going on. I mean, it's just, does it make sense now? For a lot of people, it does, but we've got to walk them through that process. You hear me on the radio all the time. If you guys follow me or hear us on social media, there's a power in having a teammate in 2021. You need somebody on your side. I tell you, if you're buying, it's very easy. We're going to make it a very simple proposition. If you go look for a home, we'll do all the work and won't charge you a dime unless we make it happen. Pretty deal. Seller, same way. In the marketplace, there's a lot of choices that you can make, a lot of great agents, a lot of opportunities. But we feel like that we bring a lot to the table. But again, it's an open proposition. You don't pay us anything unless we get the job done. And I think that's exciting about 2021. You need somebody that's excited, that's going to bring energy, it's going to help you, guide you through this crazy maze. Now, keep in mind, none of us know it all. A lot of this that we're dealing with is going to come on 2021. Nobody has the crystal ball. Nobody knows where we're going. I do think, and some economists see, that as far as buying, we're going to have more opportunities spring and summer. We expect more inventory to come on the market. They did a percentage of respondents that say, is it a good time to sell a home? And the overwhelming, I'll say overwhelming, more than almost 60% say it's a good time to sell a home. Well, only 33% said they thought it was a bad time to sell. How do you get all through this with the record low inventory and get through that opportunity? Well, I think the biggest thing you're going to do is, when you're moving forward from out of state, have an opportunity. And I stress this, sellers. We got an opportunity in the market where it's not like it used to be, where if you're in the market several months, that would be normal, right? I mean, that would be a reasonable sell time. In today's market, they're measuring you in tighter days on market. So we really have to be smart about it. One of the things I think that we see on a routine basis is seller has a lot of things going on and they just want to put the home on the market. They want to get it out there because we have the idea that rubber stamping, just kind of get it out there, do the basics. House is not 100% ready. We've got stuff throughout the house. Yard's not ready. Doesn't have that first impression, and we're just going to put it on the market. And it will sell, Ryan, because they all sell, and it doesn't take much to sell a house. Wrong. Buyers now that I see more than ever, and maybe Nick can contest to this, but what used to be they're jumping right on it, we're seeing a shift. We're seeing a shift in that opportunity where they have a second or third opportunity. Does that mean maybe some more inventory is coming? Maybe. Or buyers with COVID-19 now widening their range. Used to be, well, hey, if I live in Farragut, then I'm going to compare homes in Farragut. I'm going to compare schools in Farragut. Well, what if schools are now homeschool? What if private schools in place? And now my radius was 5 miles. Now it has turned to 30 miles. Makes sense. I come from a big city. I come here now, and guess what? 30-minute drive, Knoxville traffic. Yeah, 5 o'clock. Sometimes it's a issue, but not really. Nothing that would stop me paying $30,000 more. Price shop. Never get away that buyers are looking for the best deal. Nothing changes, just some numbers, but the same fundamentals always come in play. Buyers want the best deals. Sellers want more than what it's worth. I mean, let's be honest. And in sellers, it's our opportunity to get an agent like ourselves to get you that. Buyers, it's our job. I tell everybody now, our number one job is to get the best deal. Reality now is the best job that we can do for agents is to secure it and negotiate the best terms. Securing a property in this market is the number one by far. And you're going to do that on the selling side and buying side. And what I would encourage everybody to do is if you're selling the property, regardless of whether you think the market is, but you can see in the real estate market, things can happen and change quickly. We went to a lockdown quickly. The market changed quickly. We were downtown, some condos, they locked up quickly. It took a time to get back. So the same thing in the marketplace. Sellers, have your property ready. If it means another week, if we need to do a coming soon, let's do that. Presentation is everything. I've got a seller that's power washing part of the house. 100%. She's like, I want to have that done before I bring people over. Yes, let's do that. I need to paint the Pepto-Bismol pink room. Yes. Does it make a difference in this market? Part of me would say, hey, no, we just put it on the market. It's going to go. Let's have our game plan that makes sense that we don't do that because we never know what's going to happen. We want the best presentation. We want buyers to get energized, and our goal is to get multiple offers. But let's always have the mindset that you never know if it could be a couple more weeks in the market or longer. So let's go through the steps that we normally would do. You know the old saying, I love sports, love the Vols. There's no shortcut to a championship, and nothing changes in real estate, buying or selling. So let's not shortcut in 2021. Thank you so much for listening to us. I got to get off here. Easy number 693-SOLD or RyanColeman.org. We'll see you next week. You guys have a great weekend.